The airport that officially never existed. A Shadows of History documentary. The place that wasn't there. On official maps, it did not exist. No runway markings, no control tower, no coordinates worth acknowledging. And yet, for more than a decade, aircraft landed there almost every day. Pilots lined up on approach using rivers, tree lines, and instinct, touching down on strips that vanished into jungle within weeks. There were no welcoming lights, no radio chatter, no paperwork waiting on arrival. Just a place where planes landed and were never supposed to be. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a story confirmed only after it no longer mattered. Welcome to Shadows of History, a neutral country at war. In the early 1960s, Laos was officially neutral. International agreements guaranteed it would not become part of the expanding Vietnam War. Diplomatically, it was meant to remain untouched. Strategically, that was impossible. The Ho Chi Minh Trail, North Vietnam's vital supply route, ran straight through Laotian territory. Stopping it meant violating neutrality, so the war came quietly. No declarations, no press briefings, no uniforms, only bombs.
By the time the conflict ended, Laos would become the most heavily bombed country per capita in history without ever officially being at war. The need for plausible deniability. The United States faced a paradox. They needed air support, logistics, intelligence, and evacuation capabilities inside Laos, but they could not use officially marked military aircraft. If a U.S. Air Force jet crashed, the war would be exposed. The solution was elegant and deeply unsettling. Create a civilian airline that wasn't an airline. Staff it with former military pilots. Operate it globally, quietly, and deniably. Its name was Air America. Air America, the airline that wasn't an airline. On paper, Air America transported cargo and passengers. In reality, it was a CIA-controlled aviation arm. Its pilots flew unmarked aircraft. Its missions changed daily. Its paperwork was intentionally vague. One day, they delivered rice. The next, weapons. The next, entire villages fleeing advancing forces. Pilots were told only what they needed to know, often nothing more than a heading and a strip name that didn't appear on any map. To make this work, Air America needed infrastructure that could disappear. They needed airports that officially never existed. If you've made it this far and enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free for you, but it helps us immensely to keep creating this kind of content. Thank you. Building a runway to vanish. Hidden across northern Laos, short airstrips were carved directly into the landscape. No concrete, no permanence, just compacted dirt, gravel, and laterite. Some were built by CIA engineers, others by local labor under supervision. Many were expanded, erased, and rebuilt multiple times. A runway might exist for months or just weeks. If satellites passed overhead, the jungle concealed it. If journalists came close, the strip was abandoned. The airport's greatest feature was not its location, but its ability to vanish. Flying the unflyable. Landing on these strips was among the most dangerous flying in the world. Short runways, unpredictable winds, mountains on approach, and often enemy fire. Pilots landed heavy aircraft with no margin for error, missed the approach, and there was no go-around. There were no emergency services, no official rescue. If something went wrong, the aircraft did not crash, it disappeared, and officially, it had never been there to begin with. The war you were never supposed to see. From these invisible airports, a hidden war was sustained. Air America supplied Hmong fighters trained and armed by the CIA. It evacuated civilians under fire. It inserted intelligence teams into territory the U.S. was not supposed to enter. Entire battles depended on these flights. Entire populations survived because of them.
Meanwhile, the American public remained largely unaware that Laos was even involved. The silence was not accidental, it was policy. Collapse without recognition. As the Vietnam War wound down, the secret war unraveled. Support was withdrawn, funding vanished. Air America's fleet was dismantled or sold. Pilots left Laos quietly, many carrying stories they would not tell for decades. The airstrips were abandoned. Jungle reclaimed them, rice fields covered them. Some disappeared so completely that even locals forgot their exact locations. The airport that officially never existed finally stopped existing in reality. Secrets that refuse to stay buried. Years later, fragments began to surface. Declassified CIA documents, satellite imagery revealing unnatural clearings, pilots speaking carefully, choosing words with precision. Yes, the airport existed. Yes, the flights happened. Yes, the war was real. But even today, many locations remain unnamed. Some secrets, once useful, are never fully released. The legacy of invisible infrastructure. The hidden airport in Laos was not an anomaly. It was a prototype, a proof that modern warfare could operate without uniforms, without flags, and without acknowledgement. Infrastructure that exists only when needed. Wars fought in the margins of maps. History written in footnotes and redactions. And it leaves us with a question that still matters. If an airport can exist without officially existing, what else is operating right now just beyond what we are allowed to see? This has been Shadows of History.
If you enjoyed this story and would like to see more in the future, please give us a like, subscribe, write to us in the comments what other kinds of stories you'd like to see on our channel. Thank you.